Claudia Liza, Pennsylvania is the birthplace of American democracy, and it might yet deliver one of its most decisive moments ever. The counting is continuing here. We're awaiting other results as well, though. The consequences of what Donald Trump said last night. Will he stoke the anger even further on these streets here? And what will his supporters do if he loses?
He seemed more dejected than defiant. Who knows whether deep down he truly realises it himself. But this looks and feels like the end game of the Trump presidency. So what next? The counting continues in the last few remaining states like Pennsylvania. But the Trump team suggests those who've been tallying the votes around the clock aren't being diligent but negligent. This legal expert, himself a great-grandson of a president, says these bones of contention will be unlikely to change the final result.
One of the interesting things about the lawsuits that have been filed so far is even if the Trump campaign wins with them, it doesn't change the outcome. So they're complaining about not being allowed to stand as close as they want to watch the counting of the votes, for instance. And I don't know whether that's a frivolous claim or not, but even if they win, that's not going to disqualify 20,000 mail-in ballots. So it does seem as though a lot of what's going on is as much a battle for public opinion as it is for legal rights or for votes.
They're going to count. But the mystery votes out of the basement, they're not going to count.
But what next for the most loyal Trump supporters? In Philadelphia, they continue to battle with those who say every vote in this election needs to be counted. Those backing Trump continue to ask why postal votes were allowed to arrive for 3 days after Election Day.
If they were not here on November 3rd with a stamp, they do not count. If they come after with a stamp, they still count. But the ones without a stamp and the ones without a stamp that came here after the election, they don't count. Because if those votes mattered, they would have been here November 3rd.
And there are those hoping Mr. Trump will concede as soon as possible.
A great gift to the people of the world would be people in this country taking to the streets in peaceful, non-violent, but determined protest. It would be a gift to drive out this fascist regime. And people will be dancing in the streets around the world when that happens.
His supporters wanted him to make America great again. So that unproven claim that this election was stolen from him will be chanted for months.
So, Julian, is counting there finally nearing its end?
There are tens of thousands of votes still to go. Joe Biden took the lead around 3 hours ago. If he wins here, he gets those 20 Electoral College votes, which takes him well over the 270 that he needs. It will all be over for Donald Trump. To use his vernacular, he'll have to stand back and stand by to get a new job. They are counting those votes meticulously, aren't they? We've all seen that online. What can't be measured is the anger that Mr. Trump has incited. We know that police have said they've arrested 2 men. They heard a tip-off of a plot for people to turn up with guns here to allegedly intimidate those inside counting the votes. They found a gun inside the car. No one was hurt, thankfully, but those 2 men are currently being questioned.